Hello, everyone. This is Chanel Pinto, and you're listening to the All About Sentiments podcast. Today, we have with us Nigo from Australia. Thank you so much for joining us, Nigo.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Hello.
So, the first thing we'll do is we'll start with a little bit of introduction. So, please do tell our viewers where you're from in India and when you came to Australia, what visa you came from, and what do you do now?
Okay, so let's do this, I guess. I am Nigo, and I'm from Mumbai. I first came to Australia when I was 19, and it was, I think, 2017 or 2018, something, I forgot. And I came here on a diploma course. I did come in to study physio initially, but I got into something that's called Diploma of Health Science, and then I was supposed to go into second year of bachelor of human movement. So it was that sort of a pathway that I had to go to physio.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you want me to elaborate what happened then,
Yes, sure. Go
I
for it.
yeah, so I was supposed to, so I don't think many people know this. I didn't know that time. And there were not many people that were doing bachelor's back then from like international students. So I
Yeah.
had no friends back then that time
Yeah.
to even ask this. But when I started doing my human movement, I was actually supposed to transfer to physio after first semester itself. And we don't do that in India, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't even think of asking it. And my agent failed to let me know that
Oh,
you don't have to actually complete that degree.
yeah.
You have to finish at least a semester or two, get the GPA of 5 or above, and then get like an inner transfer to physiotherapy, which will be very easier.
Yeah.
And I finished my freaking human movement degree.
Yeah.
And then it was just so hard to get into physio. So, but I'm finally doing physiotherapy, guys. So, yay.
Yay.
But yes, it's taken me very, very, very long. I did come on student visa, but I've taken this huge risk of finishing my physiotherapy on my post-study work visa. I'm currently on
Right.
post-study work. Yes.
My
Yeah, so pretty much.
So I think this teaches us that sometimes the agents do not know everything. So don't like sometimes I've experienced this too, like the agents give you half information. You're like, what the hell?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. So after your studies, how long do you get your post visa for?
So this was COVID times. I finished my human movement in COVID.
Yeah.
Uh, and I wasn't I think we applied in March for 485 because that's when the student visa expired.
Yeah.
So I applied in March 2020, I want to say. And then I was trying to get into uni, and I was hoping I should probably get into uni first and then get my 485, or just directly get student visa or something
Yeah.
like that. But I got my 485 before getting into uni.
Yeah.
So I applied in March. I got it in November 2020.
Right. Right.
And my physio currently is a 4-year degree. So because of COVID, uh, I had this option to extend my initial 485 for 2 more
Okay.
years, which
Okay.
is why I could accommodate my 4 years,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's going pretty tight.
Yeah. So you're currently working full time or part time?
I can't work full time because of
Okay.
my degree, but I can work full time because of my visa, but I
Right,
can't.
right. Because of the managing everything, right? Because you're studying full
Yes,
time as well.
yes, physiotherapy is a degree that is really,
Yeah.
really full on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too much.
So
So
like
yes.
for now, what tips would you give other students to like manage work and studies as well, even though it's part-time, it is a lot. So like what tips would you give?
I would say, first of all, do as I say, not as I do. First of all,
Yeah.
I made heaps of mistakes when I was doing my first year. I was so distracted about getting that money in and finding these shortcuts to do PR, to get PR or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. And because I didn't have that much knowledge that if I had studied well, even in my human movement, and got a GPA of 5 at that time, South Australia was a state that was offering, for bachelors especially, they were offering like a permanent residency pathway
Right.
directly after so high performing graduates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did not know that. And
Oh,
I was so busy, like
yeah.
doing all these jobs, like cleaning jobs,
Yeah.
all of these odd blue collar jobs. I
Yeah.
was so busy with that. I'm like, what is this gonna help me with? These studies are not gonna help me with anything, blah blah blah. I know better than everyone, that sort of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I literally messed everything up for myself.
Yeah.
And so I would say, no matter how stupid your degree sounds for you, or it is, just do your degree nicely. It will definitely take you places. Get involved in uni. That was my another thing, big mistake, that I didn't get involved with uni staff or anything. They are a good help.
Right.
Again, no matter how maybe stupid they seem or
Yeah.
anything they seem, but just don't assume. They are
Right.
pretty good people. Get
Yeah.
involved in uni.
Yeah.
And then with managing work, keep it low key, guys. Keep it low key. I know it is hard. I know, I've been there, done that, still there, I'm still there.
Yeah.
But I have, yes, so just as long as you can pay your rent, have some money kept aside for you for your emergency, just do the low key jobs.
Okay, jobs. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
go, yes, don't go high key while you're
Yeah.
doing your studies, because your
Yeah.
studies are definitely going to help you out here, no matter how stupid your degree sounds.
Yeah. True. True.
Yeah.
And was it your first time like living alone and coming out so far away?
Uh, okay. So I did let's go there. So I did come with my boyfriend at that time, but
Right.
then had a really messy breakup and we went through all of that, and then I had to take a 1 year of gap year. So another advice, if you're going through something, guys, remember university will help you. So
Right.
international students are potentially not allowed to get a year gap because
Yeah.
of student visa conditions.
Yeah.
But I was taking counseling sessions from uni at that time, and I was so messed up that I couldn't focus on my academics. And you know how hard it is. If you fail,
Right. Yeah.
gone. You're going to
Yeah.
do those subjects again.
Yeah.
But I took counseling sessions from uni itself, so they were happy for me to give me a year break, which is why I bounced back well after the
Yeah.
therapy sessions, counseling. So do take counseling, no matter you think you need it, you don't need it. Trust me, we all need it. We're pretty
Yes.
lonely here. So
Yes.
my real Australian journey of being alone started when I got into physiotherapy. My first year physiotherapy was at Rockhampton in Queensland. Lovely people, lovely university, probably the best university. Really good. But again, it was a very regional place. It was a very isolated place. We used to finish semester in October, and the next semester used to start in March next year.
Yeah.
It was a pretty long gap
Yeah. Yeah.
to be alone and
Right.
not be able to do anything. And
Yeah.
everything from Rockhampton was just so expensive. Like people would say, you could just go home like we do, but no,
No, you can't. It's very
no,
pricey. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
It was so expensive.
Yeah.
Everything from Rockhampton was just so expensive. It would have been Rockhampton to Brisbane, then Brisbane to whatever, Singapore, and then Singapore to Mumbai.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty expensive,
And as a
everything.
student, you're like, nah.
Nope. Nope. I did get lots of good experience though, or like work experience in being in a regional area. I was doing heaps of good work there, like not good work as in not like not like a fundraiser or anything, but
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
exposure, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. I got good exposure with work. I was doing lots of work there. In a good way.
Right.
So that was a good exposure for my degree and for my language and personality and professional development. I could never speak like the way I do now. I still fumble today speaking English, but at that time, No, I was just so underconfident every time. So I would say just go out of your comfort zone. If
Yeah,
that job feels like you're not qualified for that, go for it. If you get
true,
in, you get in. Fake it
true,
till you make it.
true.
It sounds easy, but one step at a time.
Yeah, very true. And yeah, like since you spoke about like therapy and counseling, I've been to it too. And I think that immigrants, like especially like coming from India, like therapy is not spoken about much. And even today, like the talk of mental health is a little taboo back home. It's getting
Yes,
better with time, but
I think
I
it
feel
is.
a
Yeah.
lot of students do not know. But it's really good that universities do offer that support to students, and it's
Mhm.
free of cost, right?
It is. It is free counseling sessions.
Because otherwise it's very expensive. I understand that, and as a
It
student it's
is.
very hard, but like a lot of students should utilize that if they can, because talking to someone, I mean, first time it might not help, but you need to keep going and it'll
Yeah.
get better and better with time. Yeah,
Yes, what my experience was, you would feel like some kind of cultural difference there as well. For example, you're brown and then the counselor is white, and
yeah,
you would say, "Oh, my boyfriend left me. Oh my God, I didn't know, blah blah blah." And they will give you such a practical solution, which probably is not in your culture. Like,
right.
"Oh, you share this with your parents, you do
Yeah,
this, you
yeah,
do."
yeah,
And you'll be like,
yeah,
"What?" But then the more
yeah, true, true.
but then I would say the more you speak to them and the more they adapt or understand your culture, it will still help in some way,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some other way, better than not talking to anyone.
that's true, that's true. So what other cultural differences did you find when you moved? Like what was something that shocked you and you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God. I moved here when after I was 19. I was
Yeah,
watching all these Bollywood movies and
yeah,
it was also fun, like, oh, abroad, oh,
yeah, yeah,
Australia, damn, it's party, blah blah blah. I moved here in June, peak
yeah.
winter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was dark here by
Yeah,
4:30 or 5.
yeah,
There was no one there, like not a soul on the street.
yeah, true.
I'm like, ye kya hai? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
Mumbai, my life used to
yeah,
start after 7 p.m.
true, very true. And
So,
everything
yes.
closes at like 5, right? And you're like, okay.
Mhm.
And you finish work then and you're like, I just have to go home.
Yes. Ugh.
So it's sad.
It
But
is quite sad.
it
And there
is
were not
sad,
many
yeah.
international students at that time coming to Adelaide. Adelaide now, like people who are new to Adelaide now would
Yeah.
still feel that, oh my God, this is such a small place, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But bro, back then it was, oh,
It was different.
unimaginably
It was like worse,
so
eh?
different.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like what was the biggest reason that made you pick Australia?
So my brother was here when so my brother and I, we have a huge age difference.
Yeah.
Uh and so we have a age difference of like 15 to 17 years, I think,
Wow.
something. Yes, huge age
Okay.
difference. So when I was in my sixth grade or seventh grade or something, I was in my tuitions and my brother left for Australia.
Yeah.
And I was this little girl in my tuitions and my school saying, oh, my brother is in Australia. My brother went to Australia, like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, ugh, now, nope. And so I think that's what he came back after
Yeah.
5 to 6 years. He served his purpose. He came here and then he's back home. But then ever since my brother was in Australia, and he lived in Sydney.
Right.
So he was living
Yeah, yeah,
better
yeah.
than what I am.
Yeah.
So, but I chose Adelaide at that time because I was just looking for physiotherapy courses at that time, and
Yeah.
University of South Australia was the one that had the still expensive but
Right.
comparatively cheaper
People.
uni
Yeah.
fees and
Yes.
better scholarship opportunities.
Yeah.
Sadly, I never got to do not human physiotherapy actually in uni SA,
Yeah.
but happy where I am now. So it was my
Yeah.
brother.
And if you don't mind me asking, what was your tuition fees per year? Or
At
what
that
is
time
it?
or
Yeah, yeah.
today, I can. I can say today. So, CQ University at Rockhampton, I think their per semester is $15,000. And with scholarship for international students, you get $11,000, which is so much good, so
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
Uh, yes, as and plus, I was because I was a human movement graduate, that was full-time study load, like $11,000 or
right,
something.
right.
But I wasn't doing that many courses because I received credits. So yes, so I was paying even less than $11,000 when I started
Okay.
my physio.
Yeah, yeah,
Even though I spent heaps
yeah.
already,
Yeah,
and this is still extra. Oh my God, this is so
yeah,
much extra still, but at least comparatively, it could have been worse, like it is now. Like ever since I transferred to University of Adelaide,
yeah.
it is around $25,000 per semester.
Right,
And
right.
what typical medical fees are, like medical field.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And what
So
is it for
20
domestic students? It's a lot cheaper, right? Like
should be a
hardly
lot
anything.
cheaper. Should be a
Yeah,
lot cheaper. Like many of them are on Hex anyways,
right,
so
right,
it's
right.
called Hex Jet. So
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
like cheap. But like obviously Sydney, Melbourne would be maybe double that, right?
I think it's more expensive there,
More
should be.
expensive.
Even with the living, yeah, even with the
Yeah,
living, cost of living.
right.
Adelaide has got worse as well,
Yeah,
cost of living.
yeah.
It's so much worse now, but I guessing Sydney, Melbourne will be more than.
More. And according to like rent, right? Like what is like the ideal rent per week in Adelaide?
When I came here, I started with $100 per week.
Yeah, yeah,
And then now, and then Rockhampton, I was doing 130 per week.
right.
And that was just two of us sharing one whole house.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And it was a whole furnished house.
Okay, okay.
So maybe like benefits of regional,
Yeah,
one of the benefits. And then now coming back to Adelaide, Adelaide is still counted under regional, right? But it is
yeah.
not regional. You will know what I mean once you're here.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I think it is at least 170 to $200 per week
Per
for
week.
single room.
Okay, okay. And that's excluding utilities, right? That's just rent.
I guess
Yeah,
sometimes it is. Mostly it is including utilities,
yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Maybe
Okay.
160 or something will be excluding bills.
Excluding. Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yes.
And like, what tips would you give? I know, like, right now it's just so hard to save, but what tips would you give, like, part-timers to start saving little bit?
It is very hard to save here.
Yeah,
I have friends who are now doing full-time jobs because when I came, they
yeah,
finished they finished their degree.
yeah,
They're doing their full-time jobs now.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still at uni.
yeah.
So I have my friends doing that here, and I will say it is quite hard to save money here.
Yeah,
For example, last year, my tax return was only $800
yeah.
because I was counted under low income tax bracket, something like
Right,
that.
right, right.
Uh, and then they received no tax return because they were
Yeah,
counted under high income
yeah,
bracket.
yeah,
So it didn't make sense,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And yes, and it is quite hard, I would say, because your rent, your utilities, your car. Ugh. And probably because I'm not yet there, I'm not doing any full-time job yet. I'm just
right.
doing my physio clinic part-time job. So
Yeah,
maybe that's why I probably can't comment on it yet, but I know it is hard to save up. You
right.
can probably, but it
Little
is
bit.
hard. Still
Yeah,
have to live like in a sharing accommodation. Even though you have a full-time job, you would think, oh, now I can finally get my own place.
yeah,
And I would say just don't spend rent, like too much in rent, to be honest. It's
yeah.
not worth it.
True, true.
It's
You're paying
not.
someone
Maybe
else's
save up.
mortgage, kind of.
Yes, like
Yeah,
save up through rent. It's
yeah,
probably a little bit worth the hassle, not too much.
yeah,
Little bit.
yeah. And like, what other struggles have you faced after coming here, and like, how did you overcome it?
So struggles I faced was I was too young when I came here. I shouldn't, and I should have been more educated or knowledgeable about where I was going, why I was going, and considering my partner and I at that time, we were both 19-year-olds who
Right,
came here together. We didn't really think this through, and we started in like in series or movies you see these things like with in between boyfriend and girlfriends, they're like, oh, let's move in together, and that's
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
huge deal.
yeah,
But
yeah,
here it's more like a convenience thing, that
right,
it is convenient for us to
yeah,
live together. So I lost like many special moments. We lost our relationship, and because we grew up here, right?
right,
So
right,
we grew, yes, we grew here, we grew apart as well. So I would say, if you're someone coming with your boyfriend or coming with your partner thinking that they will be a good support for you, yes, you guys are a good support for each other, but be mindful of not being dependent so much on each other that the burden of relationship and the burden of life just crumbles your relationship,
right,
because
right,
that's what happened to me.
yeah,
And always have your own thing, and don't do any, I mean, and don't just do everything that your partner wants you to do.
yeah,
Have your own goals, let him have his own goals. Yes,
right,
do help each other out, do support each other out, but never give up on your own goals.
right,
And like go
yeah,
out very out of your way, that you have to like stop even thinking about your own goals,
yeah,
and you're just completing someone else's goals.
true,
you
true,
know
yeah,
it will also crumble your relationship. Just have your own thing, do your own thing, and take counseling sessions from uni.
right,
And yes, get involved in uni a lot, make connections. I mean, my first connection I made with a physio was after finishing my human movement degree, and I just on Facebook. I was just looking for physios in Adelaide on Facebook.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
just started like random DMing them like on
yeah,
Facebook saying, oh, I'm a human movement graduate, because I didn't know what I'm supposed to do with this degree now. Like
yeah, yeah,
what work can I do with this?
yeah, yeah,
And so I just randomly started messaging, and just one of the physios, it just clicked, it just hit. So they called me for this soccer trainer session and stuff, and
okay,
then that's how I finally got into my field. Also,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
think about the people you are hanging out with,
yeah,
because I used to hang out a lot with obviously students, because that's who you hang out with.
yeah,
And we were all at that time doing cleaning jobs,
right,
and they came after me. So I was doing even before them. So I was only doing cleaning jobs, all these odd jobs, right? My health got affected really bad with that as well.
yeah,
And I was only doing cleaning jobs, and then these friends I made were also doing cleaning jobs, and I thought that's the norm. You wouldn't even think that it's not normal. You would
yeah,
think, oh, this is what you're supposed to do now, even after finishing your degree or even while you're doing your degree. But then this one friend that I made, luckily, because I we did food truck as well. A bunch of us international students, we
yeah, yeah, yeah,
just opened up a food truck as well. It was quite hit, and that's how people started knowing me here in Adelaide. Not like famous wala knowing, but
yeah,
I started making connections through my food truck, because I was kind of a face of that, because I was front of house.
right,
This one person I met at that time, I still remember him. We were friends, and then I asked him, what does he do? And he was in his second semester of uni, and he
okay,
was already working a desk job, and not like any other desk job. He was
yeah,
doing like an engineering, like proper engineering job
okay, okay,
in the city, like
yeah,
proper firm and everything. And
yeah,
at that time, I didn't know that he was 3 years older than me. And then he had all this experience from India as well. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But all I got into thinking was, why am I not doing something like that? Why am
right,
I stuck with cleaning jobs only? You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's when I just went online, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
started
yeah,
doing all
yeah,
the research, looking after physios, like, can I please assist you? Please, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
And I just hit. So I would say, sorry for going that
No,
length,
no, no, no,
but
no. It's okay.
I
It's okay.
would I would say really be mindful of people you're hanging out with. Just explore.
Right, right. And
That's
like,
what I would say.
so basically, like to find job, right? Like right now, it's a bit difficult because of like how slow everything is. But do you
Yes.
recommend going on Seek and finding your first job, or like handing out CVs? Like, how did you do it?
I did it from Seek.
Seek.
So the physio I used to assist at that time, the one I found on Facebook,
Right.
I used to go at this soccer club in Glenelg, and
Mm.
I used to help him assist. And at that time, I had zero knowledge of what I was doing. That was
Yeah.
probably my first job where I actually had to talk in English,
Yeah.
and I cannot. And I don't know how New Zealand is, but Australians love to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like every little thing, they love to talk. They love
Yeah.
to chat. They love to
Yeah.
small talk. And I was like this introvert person, and I did not talk. And it was mainly because I wasn't confident about my accent or my English or anything for that matter. So and then I don't know why that physio liked me, and he had his own clinic as well,
Right.
and he helped me. He took me, he said, I will train you in my clinic with some admin stuff if you like. And I said, yeah, why not? And
Yeah.
he was going to ask me to do some exercise sessions for his patients as well.
Yeah.
So that was a good opportunity too. But he and his practice manager, they trained me for the job, and then I started applying, and that was more of a training thing. He didn't really need people, but he
Yeah.
was good
Yeah.
enough to help me out with that.
Train. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and then I applied on Seek. I put it in my resume saying that I've been doing this for like
For
how
a
long?
long time.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And whatever the description was,
Yeah.
this is my current job, by the way, that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The description that they had, I literally copy pasted that in my resume.
Yeah.
And I just sent it. And at that time, I had received so many already like rejections. I wasn't expecting anything out of it,
Yeah.
and they did call me in. They called me in, and even after they called me in, I was like, yeah, I'm not going. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to go
Yeah. Yeah.
to your, like, no, sorry, unfortunately we can't do this. And my one of my really close friends, at that time, they said to me, just go. And I went, and I
Yeah.
was hired on the spot. And why I still remember this, while the clinic director was talking to me, he said, so your hourly wage will be 32. And my brain just stopped functioning after that. Because me working like $10 an hour,
My gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
$16 an hour, and
Yeah.
you hear
Yeah.
$32 an hour. I'm like,
True.
what?
That was so cool though. That's really cool. That's so
Yeah, I
good.
know. For some
Congratulations.
reason, thank you. That was the only job that I didn't really prepare either. I just
Yeah.
went in like whatever. So
Yeah.
one interview tip will be just be yourself, have a little chat, like a little bit of banter as well. I don't think they're looking for very much experienced people. They
Right.
mainly look out for if you will be, they'll have a very casual chat with you, and they will be looking for if you are able to mingle up with their team, and
Right.
you are
Like a
some
good fit. Yeah.
fun. Yes, like you will fit in with
Yeah.
their team, and they are happy to train you.
Right.
That's what I experienced.
Yeah, and that's
So
that's really good though. Because like you're still studying, but you've already gotten into your field. So
I
you can
have, yeah.
grow in this, right? It's
Yes.
really
Thanks to that guy.
true. So my last question to you is, so far, like, what is the proudest moment that you feel so far, your journey?
Proudest moment. What do I say? Probably getting into physiotherapy, to be honest. I tried so hard. It is so hard to get into physio.
Yeah,
Plus no, actually everything. All my growth,
everything.
like personal growth, professional growth. And yes, because now when I went to India, I went after 4 years, and I could, because you miss India so much. You're
Yeah,
like, oh my God, I don't want to live here. I'm going
yeah,
India. I'm going to India. And then the borders opened up after 2, 3 years. And then I
yeah,
went back. And then I was like, shit, I don't even fit in here anymore. You
Yeah,
know, because I grew up here,
yeah.
unfortunately, sadly, fortunately, I don't know what to say.
We
It wouldn't
change.
make,
We change.
yes, it
Yeah,
wouldn't make sense
so
here,
true.
but yes, apparently my friends there say that you turned too kind. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because we have so, yeah, we say please, thank you, and all of these things so much. And now I'm just so used to it.
Right.
And it's just different there. Even if I think of living a professional, like even if I think of working there, and I think there will be cultural difference. So I am now hanging in the middle
Yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
like it here and I wouldn't fit in there. So I feel like I
Right.
wouldn't fit in here, I wouldn't fit in there. I don't know what to do.
Yes, I completely agree with that because we change a lot, right? Our mindset changes. And
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes, like, I don't know, this is my experience. Like, when I talk to some people back home and when they say things, I'm like, okay, I don't agree. Okay.
Yeah, like you'll be cancelled for saying that, bro. Yeah, I
Yeah, seriously.
don't agree with many things now.
Yeah,
And I don't know. And being from Mumbai as well, like I hated Adelaide at first because it was so quiet. It was so boring. And now when I go to Mumbai, it's too much.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Yes.
really loud.
Yes, I love Mumbai. I love being there. I feel loved. Like people are amazing there. Whoever is around me, so welcoming. I get lots of food there. Everyone from neighbors, my
Yeah,
mom,
yeah.
everyone, everywhere. But so I always talk to my closest friend in Mumbai, saying, I wish like I could return.
Yeah.
I just want to stay here. It's so much nice and warm here. And then she said this to me. She's like, because you're coming here once a while is why you're getting that extra
True.
special treatment, that love, that warmth. But once you again live here, like you were living here, used to live here before, this will also get boring for you.
Yes, that's so true. That
Yeah,
is
it will get too much. So I keep thinking about that a lot. But yeah, my proudest moment will be everything.
every, yeah. And you've come a really long way. So that's
Oh,
good.
I did.
Amazing. But
It was a very long way for me.
yeah, and like you've grown a lot, so it's really good.
Yeah, I was super dumb when I came here.
Me
I
too.
still am, but not in the same way.
Yeah. But
I'm
seriously,
more aware
like,
now.
thank you so much for sharing that with us and
No
being
worries.
like it means so much to me. And I know that this will help so many other people that are coming
Yeah, I hope
because
so.
we come at a very young age and we learn. I came at 17. I was so stupid. So like
Oh
it's
my
really
God, you came
good.
at 17?
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm like,
You
oh my
don't
God,
even.
that's so cringe. But like obviously you grow out of it and yeah, now like it's a lot better. But yeah, thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for sharing your story. And it's so nice for me to meet people like you that are so like uplifting. So it's amazing. Thank you so much.
I hope I could be a help to anyone. Oh, I'm just yapping. I don't know.
No, no, I'm sure it will be really helpful to students especially. And good luck to you for your journey. You've come a
Thank
long way and
you.
I know you'll meet all your goals in the future.
Thank you, and good luck to you too.
Thank you so much. Enjoy
Thanks for
the
having
day.
me.
No, no,
Thank
it's
you.
okay. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.